What Nigerians are witnessing right now is a serious shift in how the federal government is responding to the issue of banditry and organized criminal groups across the country. This is no longer just strong words or press statements. What is happening on the ground shows clear action, coordination, and pressure being applied to top bandit commanders and their networks. In recent days, security forces have intensified operations across forests, rural corridors, and known hideouts where these criminal groups have been operating for a long time. The focus is no longer only on foot soldiers. Attention is now on the commanders, the planners, and the people who supply these groups with food, fuel, communication tools, and movement support. This is important because once those support lines are cut, these groups become weaker and less organized. As this is happening, many communities are beginning to notice increased security presence. Patrols are more frequent, checkpoints are more. Strategic and intelligence-based movements are now replacing random operations. This means security agencies are acting on real information, not guesswork. And that alone shows a change in approach. If you are following this story closely, you will notice that the operations are not limited to one state or one region. Different parts of the country are experiencing coordinated actions almost at the same time. This sends a strong message that the government is treating this as a national security matter, not a local issue. At this point, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss important updates like this. Your support really helps the channel grow. Now, one key part of this current move is the focus on forest zones. For a long time, these forests have been used as safe areas by criminal groups. They hide there, move from one state to another, and plan attacks far from public view. What is happening now is that these areas are being actively monitored and cleared. Security teams are entering places that were previously considered difficult to access. This alone changes the balance. Another important angle is the arrest of people connected to supply and intelligence for these groups. This includes individuals who provide food, transportation, fuel, or information. Once these people are removed from the system, it becomes much harder for bandit commanders to operate freely. This approach is quiet but very effective. For everyday Nigerians, this development matters a lot. Farmers who abandoned their land because of fear are watching closely. Traders who stopped using certain roads are paying attention. Parents who worry about their children traveling long distances are hoping this effort will be sustained and not temporary. Please, if you are finding this update helpful, like the video and subscribe now. It takes just a second. Now let's be clear, this situation did not appear overnight and it will not disappear overnight. Banditry has grown over time due to many factors, including weak security in rural areas, poverty, illegal arms movement, and breakdown of trust between communities and authorities. What makes this current move different is that it appears more coordinated and targeted. Another thing Nigerians are noticing is improved cooperation between different security agencies. Instead of working in isolation, there is more joint planning and shared intelligence. This reduces gaps that criminals usually take advantage of. When one unit moves, others are aware. When one area is cleared, another is monitored. At the same time, the government is also calling on citizens to remain alert and cooperate. This does not mean putting yourself in danger. It means reporting suspicious movement, strange gatherings, or unfamiliar activities in areas that are usually quiet. Information from locals often makes the biggest difference. If you agree that citizens and security agencies must work together, please like this video and subscribe for more updates. Now, let's talk about the effect on the criminals themselves. When pressure increases, they begin to make mistakes. They rush movements. They communicate more. They expose themselves. This is usually when arrests and disruptions happen faster. Many of the recent successes are coming from this kind of pressure. Another major point is the psychological impact. When commanders realize that their locations are no longer safe, fear sets in. Once fear enters their camp, trust among them reduces. That alone weakens their structure. Communities that were once silent are also beginning to speak up. Some are sharing information they were afraid to share before. This is a sign that confidence is slowly returning. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support keeps this channel active and focused on real stories. However, there are still concerns. Nigerians want to see consistency. People want to be sure this is not a short-term reaction but a long-term plan. They want to see follow-up actions, arrests that lead to prosecution, and recovery of affected communities. Another concern is rehabilitation of areas that have suffered for years. Security action is one step. Rebuilding trust, restoring livelihoods, and ensuring people can return to normal life is another step. These must go together for lasting peace. What we are seeing now is the beginning of a serious phase. Whether it becomes a turning point depends on how long it is sustained and how transparent the process remains. If you have been following similar stories on this channel, you know we focus on facts, clarity, and calm analysis. That's why it's important you stay connected. Like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the continuation. At this stage, Nigerians are watching closely. Every successful operation increases confidence. Every mistake reduces trust. The coming weeks will be very important. What is happening now is that Nigerians are beginning to compare this current push with past efforts. In the past, many operations were loud at the beginning but slowly faded away. That is why people are cautious. However, what makes this situation different is the pattern. The actions are not isolated. They are happening in waves and they are connected. When pressure increases in one area, movement is blocked in another. That kind of coordination is not accidental. Another important thing people are noticing is the timing. Operations are no longer predictable. Criminal groups used to understand when security would move and when things would go quiet. That pattern has changed. Movements are now happening at different times, sometimes very early, sometimes late, and sometimes quietly. This makes it harder for bandit commanders to plan ahead. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps this channel reach more people who need clear updates like this. Now let's talk about the effects on local communities. In some places, residents are beginning to sleep better at night. They may not say it loudly, but you can feel it. Roads that were avoided are slowly being used again. Markets are beginning to see more activity. Farmers are cautiously returning to their land, even if just for short hours. But there is still fear, and that fear is understandable. People have been disappointed before. That is why many Nigerians are saying the government must not slow down. They want consistent action, not just success stories. Another key issue is information control. As operations increase, there is also an effort to control false reports and panic. This is important because misinformation can cause unnecessary fear and confusion. Clear communication helps people understand what is really happening and what is not. Please like the video and subscribe if you want this channel to keep breaking things down in simple English. Now let's talk about the role of technology. Security forces are using better tracking methods, better communication tools, and faster response systems. This reduces reaction time. When information comes in, action follows more quickly. That alone saves lives. We are also seeing more emphasis on protecting civilians. The goal is not just to confront criminals, but to ensure that innocent people are not caught in the middle. This careful approach takes time, but it builds trust. Another thing that cannot be ignored is the pressure on criminal funding. When movement becomes difficult, money flow reduces. When money reduces, loyalty breaks. When loyalty breaks, structures collapse. This is how many organized groups fall apart. If you agree that cutting support lines is as important as direct action, please like and subscribe. Now, some people are asking questions about justice. What happens after arrests? Nigerians want to see proper investigation, fair trials, and clear outcomes. This is important because without justice, confidence will drop again. People want assurance that those responsible will not return to the streets quietly. There is also discussion about long-term solutions. Security action alone cannot solve everything. Education, job creation, and rural development are also part of the solution. When young people have opportunities, they are less likely to be drawn into criminal activity. At the same time, traditional and community leaders are being encouraged to speak up. Their role is important because they understand local dynamics better than anyone else. When communities are involved, solutions last longer. Please remember to like this video and subscribe. It helps us continue this conversation. Another noticeable change is the reaction of criminal groups themselves. Some are trying to move deeper into remote areas. Others are trying to blend into communities. This is a sign of pressure. When groups are confident, they stay visible. When they are under stress, they scatter. This stage is critical. If pressure is maintained, the system weakens further. If pressure reduces, regrouping happens. That is why many Nigerians are watching closely. Now let's be honest. There will be challenges. Terrain, weather, logistics, and human error are real issues. No operation is perfect. But what matters is learning quickly and adjusting. Citizens also have a role. Staying alert, avoiding spreading panic, and reporting real concerns responsibly makes a difference. Silence helps criminals. Responsible awareness helps security. If you believe Nigerians must stay informed and calm, please like and subscribe. As we move forward, the expectation is clear. People want safety, stability, and the freedom to live normal lives without fear. This current move gives hope, but hope must be supported by action.